Okay. All right. So let me start all this over with. Sorry about the technical difficulties there, y'all. Once again, I am Average Joe, the Average Geek, and this is this week's episode of Exploring Star Trek Discovery. As you can see, my bridge crew is gone. They're all AWOL, and they all will be court-martialed. Absolutely. With beyond a doubt, they will be court-martialed this week. But we're going to do things a little bit differently before we get started. Go ahead and drop your email address in chat, and I will be sending out Google Hangout invites to those of you that are active in chat. Let's see if we can get y'all involved on the show this week if y'all are interested. If not, that's cool. I can ramble on by myself. I'm good at that. I'm a natural bloviator. Now, all that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this amazing episode of Star Trek Discovery. It was episode 7, Magic that can make the sanest man go mad, or as I joked before and y'all didn't hear, make him go mud. Once again, Rainn Wilson, and he is Pat escapes court martial.
Hey. Go ahead.
Yes, Captain Jesse, I will send my bridge crew to Rurapenthe, without a doubt this week. Good call. On a side note, if you looked at the map, it looks like the Discovery was only about a parsec or two away from Rurapenthe and Kittimer. So that was cool. How's it going, Pat?
All right, man.
Glad you could join us, man. Glad you could join us. I was just telling everybody in chat to go ahead and drop their email address. And in a little bit, once we get over this initial part of the show and we get our specific kind of review and discussion out of the way, we're going to invite some people onto the show to bloviate with us. So, all right, right off the bat, man, what'd you think about the episode?
Trippy. Very trippy.
Very trippy. Very trippy. I was talking before when I had sound issues because apparently this thing doesn't want to work. That it reminded me very much of the Next Generation episode Cause and Effect, which had a very similar. Sorry, I'm already a little parched. A very similar kind of storyline, of course, without the amazing Rainn Wilson as Harry Mudd, who made this episode. I mean, he took a good episode and just elevated it to an excellent episode. What you think?
Yeah, he did. He did. I love this performance, man. It was good.
Yeah, it was very good.
I love the part. You know how many times I killed you, Lorca? And they just do the montage. It's
just completely savage in this episode, man. Harry Mudd, like when we first saw Harry Mudd in the original series, there's only so much you can do in 1966, on television. But we definitely got the idea that this character was much more menacing than they could actually show in the original series. We're seeing him in full savage mode in Discovery.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to see him again. Like, I hope this isn't the last time we see him. I want to see Harry Mudd just pop up a couple of times every season. Yeah. Excellent. Man, this episode hit on a lot of great levels for me this week. Obviously, we get the really awesome kind of spatial anomaly time travel thing, this time using the time crystal bracelet. Yeah, Steven Stott, I agree. I think Mudd will be the Discovery's Q, which would be great. Of course, I don't think I'd mind seeing Q show up, but I think Delancey and Jason Isaacs, Lorca going head to head would be great. Man, there's a lot of really good stuff going on in this episode. Obviously, we get the really cool time travel, spatial anomaly time loop thing, which is really cool and a staple of Star Trek. We get Harry Mudd just being amazing in this episode. And we get a lot of really awesome character development from Michael Burnham. I feel that we're starting to connect with her in ways that we hadn't before. And of course, that's, in my opinion, that was entirely by design, given her Vulcan upbringing, and that's referenced rather heavily in this episode. What do you think about what they're doing with Michael Burnham?
To reference another show, they're they're really 7 and 9 in her, basically, make it becoming her, sliding that scale more human than Vulcan,
Right.
So,
well, it's definitely a good thing, man. Vulcans are very hard to get along with sometimes, and it made Michael Burnham kind of standoffish in the first portion of the season. Because of that heavy Vulcan background. So seeing her explore her humanity is wonderful. And Sonequa Martin Green's portrayal of Michael Burnham is top notch. She was amazing as Sasha in The Walking Dead. I think I love her performance as Michael Burnham even more than her performance as Sasha.
Yeah. Sorry, brains messed up today. Tilly. Seeing the other side of Tilly, the drunk side of Tilly almost.
I don't think, have we ever seen a party like that in Star Trek before? I don't think we have. That was great, kind of seeing the crew let loose and let their hair down, so to speak, and just kind of have fun, and lots of interpersonal fornicating going on Discovery.
Man. Yeah, out in the hallway too. They didn't care, man. Let's go.
Right.
And the music. It's good to see the good music never dies, man.
That's right. Yes, they're still listening to the 260, 280-year-old classics. Stephen Stott, I think you're right that he says that. I think the interesting thing is that as a first officer, she probably didn't have any motivation to explore her human side. Which is true. I can probably. She even mentions that briefly in the episode that she didn't have that opportunity. That when she was first officer on the Shenzhou, that it was all business. And that was all she had time for. And because she was a first officer, it was inappropriate.
What if she deemed it inappropriate, basically?
Well, Starfleet regulations and all. Commanding officers fraternizing with lower ranked officers. That's generally not. That's generally frowned upon. In whatever military form you may be doing. Yes, Brian Zinchuk. I think that was an actual version of Staying Alive, or at least one that was particularly arranged for this episode. Either way, I kind of want to find the soundtrack for this episode.
The hip hop version.
And yes, Captain Jelly, Tyler actually does outrank Burnham in this episode. Burnham is just a specialist. She does not have the rank. Tyler is a lieutenant and the chief security officer. So he's bridge crew kind of idea.
He's up there.
Definitely. Let's see. How did Michael remember what happened after each time? Was it Stamets that kept coming up and updating her? Yes. Talha Patel. So I butchered your name, and I completely apologize for that. Yes, I do believe that it was because Stamets kept reiterating what was going on each and every single time with her. He even mentioned several times that if he had to say this again, he was going to throw himself out an airlock. Which means we should probably talk about Paul Stamets. All right, cool. I said it right. Yes, excellent. Okay. So my wonderful wife, who just Googled it for me, that was a Wyclef Jean version of Staying Alive that was played in tonight's episode, entitled "We Trying to Stay Alive." So that was Wyclef Jean. I'm perfectly okay with that. And when I get done here, I'm going to download that because that was cool.
And
all right, that means that being said, let's talk about Stamets. The first episode of Stamets, I mentioned it here, and y'all can see on previous episodes of Exploring Star Trek Discovery. I thought he was a douchebag. I thought he was incredibly competent, but I thought he was a douche. And I didn't really like him. Not talking bad about his performance or anything, because Anthony Rapp's performance is fantastic. But I didn't like the guy. I didn't like the character. But every single episode we have him in now, I'm liking him more and more, especially now that he's all Grateful Dead kind of shroomed out on each episode. His mind's been expanded, man. Like, I see all of space and time, and I exist out of what you call normal reality, man. It's a very cool character. It's definitely unlike any other chief engineer that we have seen in Star Trek. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. I loved him in this episode, man. He, especially the little montages. You know, he was tripping with everybody. You know, he was having a good time with everybody.
Yeah,
he was very interactive with the crew during Burnham's little montage. I like that piece on his arm though that they developed to keep him, you know, comfortable.
Yeah. Really interesting question from Captain Jesse. At this point in Discovery, does Michael Burnham outrank Tom Paris as an observer at the very start of Star Trek Voyager? I would probably say they're side by side. That, you know, Burnham is a science specialist. I feel that Tom Paris was brought on to Voyager as a helmsman specialist. J-Tank7 says that they liked Mudd much better this episode than the last one he was in. Good mix of sinister and funny. Completely agree. Let's see. Brian Sinchuk says the map that they showed briefly shows that they were operating roughly 108 light years from Earth. In other words, next door. Yeah. John Newman, why doesn't he just go to the captain? I don't know. It's a very interesting question about Stamets, but why he didn't just actually go to the captain. I believe it had something to do with Mudd's controlling of the bridge. That's why they had to immediately start staying off the bridge, because once they go to the bridge, they were locked in play by Mudd. That was right where Mudd wanted them to be. Because as we see in every single iteration of Mudd going in and vaporizing people or beaming the captain into space, which was just savage AF.
while eating a sandwich.
While eating a sandwich. I think there was the better play to stay off the bridge. I really do. So I think that's what happened there. Patel speaks again. Stamets' character is well developed this episode, at least his new character as compared to his initial character. I do agree. They're expanding his character off more and more. He's becoming much more relatable. Let's see. So how did he hack the computer getting the captain's authorization? We didn't really see the mechanism that he used to hack it, but we do know that Tyler spoke to him before, and he learned that Mudd was able to, you know, break the Beta Zed's central bank's security systems. So I'm sure he's developed amazing hacking skills somewhere that we didn't get to see. We saw the effects of, but we didn't actually see the action.
Yeah, I mean, he was, you know, he showed he was a master, a lot picker, you know.
Yeah.
Especially going to that one little minute console and just kind of just chilling, you know, hitting a couple commands and boom, there we go. Yeah.
Well, we see that he had at least 53 tries. You know, when he looks at, you know, the captain is like, how many times have I killed you right now? Oh, I'll let you know. 53. So he was in that loop for a long time, just taking time after time after time after time to get it right.
Right.
Yeah, and he was right. Yeah, he was doing the Groundhog Day thing, each time getting smarter and smarter. Man, Mudd was so menacing in this episode. Fantastic, that's for sure. I thoroughly enjoyed everything that Rainn Wilson is bringing to the Harry Mudd character, without a doubt. Man. So, yeah, Yeah. Let's see what other kind of standout awesomeness that we saw. Okay, okay. Let's talk about the weapons of Star Trek Discovery and the way these phasers are just beast. you know. Oh yes, the poor space whale. Was it what was the name of that? The Gorgamond? Is that what the Gorgamander? Gargamander. Somebody, yeah, that was really cool. It kind of reminded me of the Purgils from Star Wars. Oh no, he referenced Star Wars in a Star Trek show. Don't look at my hat. You see the viewership just start dropping. I am the average geek. See, everything is fine. I've got Trek up here. I've got Alien over here. I've got some Star Wars. I got Goku, little Terminator. Equal opportunity nerd here. Oh, Steven Side declares blasphemy. Nah, man, we can enjoy everything. I'm gonna go like all the Stamets, man. It's like, dude, man, just existing in multiple realities, man. Oh man, oh yeah, the little purple ping pong ball kind of thing, and the like concentrated weaponized dark matter. How freaking crazy is that?
Barnum ate that thing, dude.
She did. He did. That was a hell of a chess move, man. That was a hell of a chess move, and it worked. Brian Sinchek goes, Kaflooey, how many ways can we make you disintegrate? Klingon guns last week in training, phasers this week, fancy captain's pistol, black balls. Yeah, like, I mean, they are not afraid to vaporize people in this episode. That is for sure. Which is cool, man, because we get to see the phasers do what phasers do, man. We kind of forget that phasers, they can be down to level 1, they'll give you a headache. Up to level 20, they will remove you apart atom by atom. They can vaporize sections of starship bulkheads if they're at a higher level. We're really seeing the phasers in action, which is freaking sweet. Man, I love this episode, dude. Lorca was really cool in this episode too, and he's like, "Oh, okay," with the space whale, the Gorgamander. It was, Starfleet regulations say, he goes, "I don't give a damn, just do it." I don't give a damn. Which is,
I like to assist on this. I don't care. Go ahead.
I was like, I don't care. Just do it. Just do it. It's like, yes, we have to do it. We're bound by law, but I don't care. Go save your space whales. Okay. Can we talk about Harry Mudd having the Andorian spacesuit? And I want to know the story of how he acquired the Andorian spacesuit. That was cool.
I really thought when that whale opened his mouth, I thought he's gonna spew something on him. This would be like one trippy episode, like the secretion of like laughing gas or something like that, or a hallucinogen. Wasn't expecting Harry Mudd to walk out in that suit and just blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and just start gunning people down. Harry Mudd don't care. His give a damn is broken completely. He don't care. Just Sheldon asked, how did he even have a ship? Who knows? Maybe he stole an Andorian ship, and that's how he got the Andorian spacesuit. Maybe. We don't know. That's what's great. They don't have to explain every aspect of it. The idea when Harry Mudd goes, it was the greatest feat of magic ever. It'll make the great escape artist blush. That was cool. So when a guy emerges from a space whale armed, why didn't 5 people call out intruder alert? Well, they were busy getting phasered. And the moment one of them took cover, yes, they sent out the intruder alert. When you're under fire, you kind of gotta take cover first. And once cover was achieved, the intruder alert went out. So I can see the knit, but it's a very particular knit that you're pulling. You know, stress fire. You know. Oh man, JTag7 goes party on the ship. Love seeing the fun side of being on a ship. Was always a part of Star Trek from 10-4 to the promenade to holodecks and card games. Yes, completely agree.
Starfleet fun continues.
Patel goes, I would have thought fire inside the ship would automatically raise alarms. I mean, it does in the later on, the 24th century and such like that. But I don't know. Maybe those systems are there. Remember, this is pre-TOS. Oh, man, awesome stuff. All right. So let's go ahead and start getting some viewers in here. This is going to be interesting. We've never done this yet on an episode of exploring Star Trek Discovery. So I'm going to scroll up here for a minute, and I'm going to start peeling off. So let's do Steven Stott. Steven Stott has been completely active in our chat for the very past few sessions. So I'm going to go ahead and send an invite that way. So check your email, Mr. Steven Stott. You are getting a Google Hangout invite right now. And we'll bring people on here for about 5 minutes at a time, and we'll have a talk, and we'll see what's going down. Just showing us how many times do you think they went through the loop? Well, Harry Mudd did give a specific number, 53, and then we had additional loops on top of that. So we're talking at least 55, 56, maybe up to 60 loops went through during this whole thing. So yes, Steven Stott, check your email. You just got an invite from us, and we'll bring you on for a few minutes and let you talk about the show. Man, I thoroughly enjoyed this, man. This was classic Trek, and it's people one of the greatest pastimes of Trekkies now. I got to call us out, guys. We complain too damn much. It's hard. It's hard to really get out and just like nerd out about Star Trek Discovery to a lot of fans, and it's a little disheartening. And I want to know. I wish I knew why that was. I mean, I can understand, when things change, people are resistant to change. So I get it, and you start holding things like, we all hold Star Trek to such a high level in our lives. That's why we're all Trekkies. That's why we're sitting here right now having this conversation. We're running a live show right now is because we are Trekkies. So I get it. It's hard to deal with sometimes.
Trekkies are legion, I guess.
Yes, we are legion, without a doubt. Let's see. Patel goes, that robot-looking character on the bridge looked cool. Don't know if it was an android, but had a lot of emotion on that face when Mudd was taking over the bridge. That is Lieutenant Commander Ariam, and she is an augmented human. She's a cybernetically augmented human being. We don't know a whole lot about her character other than that. Captain Jesse, did Jonathan Frakes, directed episode Discovery episode 7. I don't think he directed this episode, but we know that he did direct an episode this season. So, we don't know when that. I don't know when that episode is going to pop up. The rumor is that is going to be the infamous mirror episode that we shall see. All right, so send the invite to Steven Stott. He hasn't come in yet, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to send out another one to someone else. Let's do find somebody active in chat right now. All right, everybody. If you're active in chat right now and you want to join the show, go ahead and drop your email address again. If you've dropped it before in the past, go ahead and drop it again so we can get a fresh one here in chat, and we'll get you in on the show. Good stuff this episode. I'm loving the design choices for Discovery. I'm loving, the color palette, and the Gorgamander looked amazing. That was such a well designed creature. I don't know if you ever watched the show on Sci-Fi Channel Face Off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neville Page and what's his name? Crystal, help me out. The other guy, Neville Page, and the other guy from Face Off. I'm blanking right now. But two of the guys from Face Off that have been on there since the very, very beginning are doing the creature effects and the makeup design for Discovery, which is super cool. They are in charge of the extremely controversial redesign of the Klingons, which I am falling more and more in love with every single episode. Glenn Hetrick, Neville Page and Glenn Hetrick. Thank you, Crystal. His wife's on point with the Google machine, man. So yeah, they're doing really cool, really challenging character designs, really really fun stuff. This episode was completely on point. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and send out another invite. This one to Mr. Michael Smith. Michael Smith, check your email. You are getting a Google Hangout invite right now. Ooh, invitation posted. Get you in on the show. All right, let me just chat. There we go. Yeah, say J Tank 7 goes away mission next week. Can't wait. Heading out. See you next time. Hey, J Tank, have a good one. Thanks for watching the show. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Michael Smith. Welcome to the show, Michael Smith. How are you, sir?
Good. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Got you 5x5, buddy.
All right, no problem. Thanks. I've been a fan from day one.
Oh, good. Well, glad you. I mean, I see you in chat every week, man. You're one of our regulars. We thank you very much for watching, and we thank you for joining the show, man.
Yes,
So what'd you think about tonight's episode of Discovery, man?
It was good. It wasn't the best episode, but it was good. I like the whole time shifting thing, although we've seen it in Star Trek before. We have seen it in SG-1. We have seen it in all sci-fi shows already.
Right.
It was good. It flushed out the Dr. Paul. Yeah, you got more of a chance to see his personality, and that's what I liked about it. But it was good.
So
and I love the blasters.
Right. What did you said it wasn't the best episode, but it was good. What did you not like about the episode?
All right. It moved too fast.
Okay.
It moved too fast. I'd love for more built up, because what did they have the premise from? They did 2 or 3 time jumps, so they could build up, save some time for the end to show what they did more, or they got the captain to buy in.
I see what you're saying right now. That very first half of the episode, especially till the point where Stamets actually recruited Burnham into the fold of what was going on. That first half of the episode did move very, very quickly. So I understand your point, sir.
Right, but apart from that, this now is my favorite sci-fi now. On TV presently. I have to go back and give the big Orville a watch when the season ends, but I'm constantly comparing, and honestly, this Disco, although I'm wearing one of those Disco t-shirts, no problem.
Right. I think the company Novos is actually producing the Disco t-shirts.
Yeah,
but I have to grab one for myself.
I would rock a black Disco.
yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. But apart from that, the show is pretty cool. and then I look forward to watching you guys after the show. The reason why I started watching you originally is that everybody else, like, totally is hate, 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 hate. They don't give the show um any love for what it is, right? This is how Star Trek would have been if the technology existed 40 years ago, 50 years ago.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate that, dude. I really do, because when we started with the idea of doing this show, that we want to be objective, and I want everybody out there to know that if Discovery has a stinker of an episode, we're going to call it out. But for us, that hasn't happened yet, you know. So we want to look at the show objectively, but you're right. There's so much hate out there, like it's vogue and it's cool and it's hip to hate on Star Trek Discovery. Like, I'm a big fan of the Orville too. I don't know if you've seen my Orville reviews here on my channel, but I'm a big fan of the Orville. But I don't feel the constant need to compare the two shows. They can exist on their own.
Right.
They tell different stories in different ways. In a lot of ways, they're although they're both science fiction, they're kind of different subgenres of science fiction.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot now, both of you guys.
All right, man, bring it on. What you got?
I asked my friend this question at work. Desert Island. One SD card can only hold one season of the Orville or one season of Discovery.
I have to go
Which one is
Discovery.
ours?
I'm going to go Discovery.
What the?
I'll do Discovery too. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not hating on the Orville. I am not hating on the Orville in any way. I love the Orville, but if I had to choose between the two, I'm going to go Discovery. My wife, on the other hand, would go Orville. She's pointing out, she's like, I'm Orville. Like, that is okay.
No, but that's what happening now with Discovery and Orville. Is like you have camps out there now. It's either Team Orville or Team Disco. And I love Discovery. I enjoy. I love the ship. The ship is beautiful.
Yes.
When you look at that ship is beautiful. It's Enterprise-ish, but it still holds its own. Right? The ship is beautiful. Space. When you look out at space is, oh Lord. Right?
Yes.
The uniforms are great. That black insignia.
Yes, the black com badge. I require one of those. Like, I gotta get one of those.
You know that.
No
know
doubt.
the t-shirt, the clothes, the music today. I like the music, but to me, as I said earlier, they should get somebody like Will I Am, somebody with a futuristic beat to remix a new beat. Although the classics will always be there, but I don't see you listening to Beethoven as a party.
Right.
We're not going to a party. Beethoven or Mozart was rocking back in their day, but we're not rocking it now at a party, are we?
Right.
If it comes
absolutely.
on the car, if we hear the Team to Space 2001, we will turn it up.
Right.
But we're not going to rock it at a party.
Exactly. It was nice to hear that kind of upbeat kind of party music in that party scene on Discovery.
But they needed a new, and also how it different from if Picard and Data would have always been listening to those classical stuff. When we go back to Enterprise, right? So,
well, Picard's this stuffy British type, like there's not a lot of stuffy British types on Discovery.
Discovery is more young people hip.
It seems to be that there's a lot of American backgrounds on Discovery, away from that kind of even the captain's a good old country boy. So hey, Michael, thank you very much for jumping on the show, man. I really appreciate it, man. And we'll see you here again next week. Make sure you stay in chat. All right, chat. If you want to jump in on the show and you want to take Michael's spot, go ahead and leave your email into the chat bar there, and we're going to get you on the show.
Okay. Good. Thanks for having me.
Thank,
Man. Okay.
thank you, sir. Thank you very much. All right. I'm going to go ahead and hit.
You'll have to kick me. I don't know what to get.
Yes, I'm going to go right there. And cool. All right.
That was awesome, man.
That was great. Cool.
Yes.
I'm going to do that more often. That was fun. Somebody give me an email address. I'm going to get you on the show because that was great. Cool. I guess, again, thank you very much, Michael, for jumping in on the show. That was awesome. Let's see. Ross Sun goes, Lorca is losing his ish. Maybe a little. Maybe a little. Yeah, maybe a little bit. We'll see what goes on. I'm firmly Team Lorca. I am right there. I don't think that Lorca is, this evil kind of, unethical kind of guy that the internet is proclaiming he is. Does he have issues? Yeah. Is he, this horrible captain? No, not at all. Let's see. I got some more email addresses.
He gave off a Sin and Survive in the beginning. So when I first saw him, it's just facial mannerisms and everything I caught. It was like, whoa, what's up with this captain, man? This is bad news. But we've had the episode. He's kidnapped by Klingons, and you get to learn about his backstory, and him saving Tyler and everything. So I mean,
right.
So no, he I don't know. He's kind of like he's kind of like Kirk in a way. Kirk that stoic captain does the job, get it done. But he had his own demons. Kirk hated.
Right.
Kirk hated the Klingons for what they did.
Klingon bastards killed my son.
Yeah, Lorca don't like him for what they did to his ship. So I mean, there are some major similarities between the two.
Yeah, like I kind of like when Lorca was speaking with Harry Mudd at the very end when they played Mudd, And Lorca is looking at Mudd and he goes, I'm not going to have another incident like I did with the Baran. Like, yeah, they were playing Mudd, but I believed him.
He was serious.
I really believed Lorca right then. Like, no, he's not going to have another incident like what happened with the Baran. That was a moment of real truth there. So, I'm firmly Team Lorca. I really do. Let's see. Maze Satsuma goes, Lorca isn't evil, but a broken man. Doubt he'll be captain of season 2. He's a broken man. Is he going to be around for season 2? Yeah, you don't get rid of Jason Isaacs. Jason Isaac is too good of a character, too good of an actor. Yeah, Lorca, like Jason Isaacs is too good. Of course, he might be expensive. Going meta kind of production. We don't know how expensive he is. Like Michelle Yeoh. Like, how expensive is Michelle Yeoh? She's one of the
kill her quickly.
She is one of the most popular Chinese actresses on the planet. Like, she's a big name here in the United States, but in China, she's top tier. So I imagine she was pretty expensive to have.
Remember, she was the female Jackie Chan back in the day, bro.
Still is, sir. Still is. She's a badass. All right, Eric Tyler, I'm sending you. Let's go right here. I know this is riveting internet television when you see me flitting around on my keyboard right now to get invites. All right, Eric Tyler, invite has been sent out to you, sir.
Fascinating.
How much would take a posting on the USS Discovery? I'm not. What do you mean there, Captain Jesse? Because if I could take a posting on the Discovery, I would. Just transport me into that universe, please. So, all right, Eric Taylor, go ahead and check out your email address. You've got an invite being sent to you. I'm very curious as to what you thought of the Discovery episode tonight. Man, I'm digging this, dude. Chat is bumping tonight. Let's see. I can see you being a Mako or a Marine officer. Like, I'm cool with that. I could absolutely be a Mako in Starfleet. I can't here in the real world. I would need to lose 500 pounds and get a lot more active than I am. But yeah, if it's all all things being even in a fantasy universe, sure, let me be a Starfleet Mako.
Yeah, just give me a
That'd be pretty
face.
awesome.
I'm good, bro.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem, Eric Taylor. Take your time. All right. So Eric Taylor is installing Google Hangouts, so we'll be there. He'll be here in a minute. Let's see. Patel, yeah, Bud's ability to transport with hands was fascinating. Agreed. Because this very kind of flippant kind of way of just like, oh, go away. Which really played into Rainn Wilson's portrayal of the character. What do you think they did with Bud's ship? That's a very good question now, isn't it? They have the ship. It's inside a Gorgamander. So they're going to have to do some veterinary surgery to get the Gorgamander safe, Endangered Species Act and all that kind of stuff. But the ship, I mean, I'm sure those time crystals are going to be studied by Starfleet for a while. Interesting enough, over the past year, we have discovered a new state of matter. So when they reference time crystals, these time crystals are something that actually exists in our world that we have discovered. Now, can we manipulate them the way Harry Mudd did to go into a time loop and all that kind of stuff? Oh, of course not. But there is sound physics there, where these time crystals are a state of matter that stay in flux in time, which is really, really freaking cool. Y'all can Google that, actually. There are scientific journals out there. There are layman journals, and then there are physics journals out there, depending on your level of physics knowledge. Definitely check that out. Really, really cool. John Shaner, speaking of Stella. Did y'all notice that Stella was dressed very original series extra?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't she look like she came right out of the original series? Patel, that was dark matter. It was dark matter that was referenced. The little purple black balls that disintegrated people were concentrated dark matter. Now, red matter, that'd be really interesting, because then you swallow the red matter and you collapse into a singularity and destroy Vulcan. Very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff indeed. Hey, Eric Taylor has joined the video chat. How you doing, Eric? Welcome to the show.
Doing all right. What do you think they did with Mud's ship that was in the whale?
Well, they're probably just going to have to do some veterinary surgery, of course, to get it outside of the whale without harming the whale. But I'm sure Starfleet Medical can handle that, no problem. Endangered Species Act and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I meant like the time crystal and all that stuff that was inside.
And the time crystal, they're probably, I was going to say that they, probably exploring it, studying it, little Starfleet science, and see what's going on there.
Nice.
I was also talking. I don't know if you heard me not while you're doing this, but they were actually last year or earlier this year, it was announced that we've discovered that state of matter here in our own world and our level of physics. These little time crystals, and that's actually
the 40 crystals.
Yeah, which is really, really cool concept. Of course, we can't manipulate them like Harry Mudd can, but it's a really cool concept.
Like they're stable and unstable at the same time.
Exactly. So, what'd you think about the episode?
I thought it was good. I liked the time jumps. It reminded me of that one where I think Data and them were playing poker on Enterprise.
Cause and Effect was the name of the Next Generation episode. Really good stuff. Where would you rank this episode with the rest of Discovery?
It's one of my favorite, actually. I like the whole time thing.
Yeah, very good episode. Very, very good episode. So what do you think of the show Discovery as a whole?
It's really good. I actually like it. Not too bad. I mean,
right? There's a lot.
I was one of the few that I watched all of them except the original series. I watched a few, but I've watched every other series completely through. But I actually liked Enterprise. A lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it because they had like no they had a translator. They had actual guns. It was interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I thoroughly enjoyed Enterprise. I don't think Enterprise gets nearly the love that it should. I mean, Scott Bakula's Jonathan Archer, what a great captain. Great captain. You can't get wrong with Scott. You put Scott Bakula in any science fiction show, it immediately elevates it to the next level. So I'm a firm believer that we need a new iteration of Quantum Leap.
That would be very interesting. They probably started off as a movie.
I mean, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Quantum Leap. Hashtag bring back Quantum Leap. Everybody, let's get that trending. Bring back Quantum Leap.
Actually, NBC was actually kicking that around a couple of years ago to bring back Quantum Leap. So
I think it might be
didn't
time.
get greenlit. So.
I think it might be time. Like I think was it me and you the other day talking about it, Pat? How we had the we could bring Quantum Leap back really quick. Have Sam, makes another jump that just never quite gets to Earth, and then finds somebody and starts jumping with them, and then they get Sam gets killed, can't carry on, but then the other person is continuing the jump. It'd be a great way to bring the show back. But that being said, this isn't a Quantum Leap show. This is a Star Trek show.
Star Trek, yes.
Yes, Star Trek. That whole thing. So apart from the time crystals, what was your favorite part about this episode?
Let me see. I like seeing Mudd again. That was interesting.
What do you think about Rainn Wilson's portrayal of the character?
It's all right. He's crazy.
Like with the original series, we only got one episode of Mudd. I think we got one episode, and that was it for Harry Mudd in the original series. And that character made such an impact on the original series, and it's nice that we're getting the character back now, and we're getting his character expanded in such a way. Briefly mentioned earlier in tonight's episode how he got that subtext of menacingness in the original series, but there's only so much you could do on a 1966 television that we're seeing him now, and it's expanding his character in such a way. Like, okay, Captain Jessica's Mudd was in 2 episodes of the original series.
This felt like a very original series conclusion.
Yeah,
like how it ended.
Yeah, the Stella character and her father were dressed in very original series 1966 sci-fi clothing. So that was really cool. Thoroughly enjoyed that. So let me ask you this. Aaron, before we move on and start closing down this episode. Where do you think Discovery should go as a series? Is it moving in the direction you want it to go as a fan? What would you like to see from the series?
Kind of more episodes like this, kind of more dealing with the Klingons as well. I mean, the episode to deal with the people, that's all right, but I want to see more progression towards, the war that's going on and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I agree. They did say that the Klingon War would be wrapped up in this season. So I'm sure we're going to get a lot more into that right there.
Wow.
Yep.
That's going to go quick.
Yeah. Good old Harry Mudd. I can kind of see
yeah, I see it.
Rainn Wilson moving into this. Kind of wanted to see him shave the beard. If we see him again, shave the beard, get some beeswax in the, get the horns on.
Do you think we'll see him again?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I think we will. I think we have to at this point. It was said earlier in chat. I can't remember who said it, but it's like they want Harry Mudd to be Discovery's Q, and bring it on.
I'm good with that.
With this kind of episode and him being this menacing and this intelligent and such an existential threat to our crew. I mean, he killed our crew 53 times. That's impressive for a bad guy. Yeah. I think with that level of intelligence and the awesome portrayal by Rainn Wilson that we have to see the character again. Maybe not this season, definitely next season.
What did you think about Michael staring him down after she swallowed the pill thing?
I thought that was – go ahead, Pat.
That was funny. I liked it. She just did it and looked at him straight up what you going to do now? It was awesome. I liked it.
It's supposed to be really painful.
Yeah. Michael Burnham, people aren't giving Michael Burnham enough credit. She is an incredibly intelligent officer. She made some mistakes. There's a video on my channel titled "Let's Talk About Michael Burnham," and it's her character based on the first couple of episodes. I've got a follow-up video to that planned where I want to talk about just that character specifically. And she's an incredibly intelligent character, a very gifted Starfleet officer that made some horrible mistakes. And she suffered for those mistakes. And we're starting to see her character kind of come around from that. In her personal log, she talks about how, she's stepping out of her comfort zone and she's becoming one with the crew and she's found a place on the ship. And it wasn't something that she expected to be able to do. So I think people aren't taking Michael Burnham seriously enough. So when she moved that chess piece into checkmate, and swallowed that concentrated dark matter. Okay, watch this. Boom. I'm an asset. You're going to reset this. I know you are because I'm such an asset. That was such a masterful play and put Michael Burnham up there, the top tier badasses of Star Trek, in my opinion. So, all right. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask, do you think there's going to be more episodes dealing with the effects of, I think Stamets' name is?
Yes.
What happened to him? Yeah.
I think we have to. I don't think his story has come full circle yet because we're seeing such changes in his personality. And
he's tripped a lot of shrooms.
He's gone full Grateful Dead.
Well,
full Grateful Dead.
Not in episode. This is 7, so episode 6. No, this
was episode 7.
So 7, yeah. So episode 5. He's the lead-in for the Mirror universe.
Yeah.
I feel like this is just a theory. I feel like we're going to see the Mirror universe. We're going to see him as his current self go into that alternate universe and just be nuts.
Yes, absolutely. I think we've got to see more Stamets. To the point where they even spoke about his personality changes that we've seen as viewers. But Michael Burnham even points that out in her personal log that we're seeing it's bringing out aspects of his personality that we haven't seen before. And to see where the character was when we first met him in episode 3 to where the character is now, there's story there that needs to be explored, and I'm sure will be explored. Because he is, like Pat pointed out, he is going to be that gateway into the Mirror universe. When he's looking at that mirror and we see that split when he walks away and his image is still sitting in the mirror, there is story there that is going to be told. Without a doubt. There's going to be a lot of really good stories revolving around this because there has to be some pay. There has to be some kind of comeuppance for this. You don't just start injecting yourself with alien DNA and expand your mind to such a point without there being some kind of backlash for this.
It would explain why they don't do it in the future, like series or anything, why they don't use this kind of technology.
Okay, here's a great thought. What if Stamets meets up with the travelers from the Next Generation? The ones that took Wesley Crusher on his journey across the stars before he returned to Starfleet as an adult. Maybe there's some interplay there because that's essentially what Stamets is doing right now. He's traveling the mycelium network. He's existing outside of normal space-time. When he plugs into the dash drive, he sees the entire mycelium network. His mind is expanding beyond normal human levels. It's going to be really interesting to see where this goes in the future. Hey, Eric, thank you very much for joining the show, sir. And make sure you stick around. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. We do this show every week.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one, buddy.
You too.
Night, man.
All right. So we've been going on and on and on and on for about an hour now, and this has been a really fun, really energetic show. I'm loving seeing the interaction in chat. It was nice having a couple of people on the show. We're going to do that more often. That was fun. That brought some energy to the show, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. We're going to do that every week. What do you think, Pat?
Yes.
I thoroughly like that.
All that participation is key.
That was awesome. All right, so we're gonna throw it out the chat, and we're gonna do it just like we do every episode on a scale of 1 to 10. A 1 being warp 10 salamanders in Spock's brain, a 10 being City on the Edge of Tomorrow, or The Inner Light. How would you rate this episode, sir?
Me, I will give it. Never being honest. It was a good episode. I would give it a 7.5.
7.5.
Okay, reasons why. Now, this is the reason why. This is one of those slower paced shows. In a sense, we had a bunch of time looping, and Captain's getting killed 3 times. It was awesome. But to me, character development shows are cool, and this is. It served 2 points. One, let's have a trippy show. 2, let's have a hell of a lot of character development, before we get to the next episode, the away mission, all hell breaking loose. So this is that calm before the storm episode in a way.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where I put it. So.
Do you think Saru is going to bite the bullet next episode?
Based on the previews alone, if you just my first guess, yes.
It's definitely implied.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this episode an 8.5. Not quite last week's episode with Sarek, but definitely top tier Trek. Very great, very awesome episode for me. Let's see. Michael Smith gave this episode an 8. Amaze Satsuma gave it a 6.75. Better than average, but not as good as the last 2 episodes. That's fair. What else, chat? What else you got for me? Let's round up those numbers. Let's see what chat's thinking. Yeah, really good episode to me right now. Let's see. All right, well it's 11 o'clock. We've been running on for an hour now. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and close this episode out. Final thoughts, Pat.
Final thoughts. Again, the show was trippy. Love the music. Good to see that classes never die.
Right.
Harry Mudd is beast. I'm sorry. I didn't know the character from the original series, but now meeting him now, that dude is savage as hell. I love him.
He's savage. Eric Taylor gives the episode a 7. Just Sheldon gives the episode a 7. Yeah, good stuff. My final thoughts on the episode is like, this is what Trek is for me. It was spatial anomalies and space whales and great villains and wonderful character development. This was a really good episode for me. Cool. All right. This was a great show. I feel like this was the best episode of Exploring Star Trek Discovery we've had. I'm loving the audience participation. Y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button on my channel. We do this each and every week, and I've got a lot of more fun stuff coming. And we're gonna get y'all in on more episodes. If you didn't get it on this episode, you'll get it on the next one. Let's keep it going. I've got some giveaways coming up in the future. I'm getting those planned. Haven't got the details out right now, but right around that 500 subscriber mark, I think we're going to do a pretty significant giveaway. Got some really cool stuff planned. I am Average Joe, the Average Geek. Thank you all very much for watching. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you think we are talking out of our ass and you hate Discovery, give this video a thumbs up anyway. Hit that subscribe button. And like I said, I'm Average Joe, the Average Geek. Thank you all very much for watching. Pat Whitehead, wonderful as always speaking with you, sir.
All right, brother.
And y'all have a good night, everybody. Live long and prosper.